We are working on a technique that you can initiate as a counter to one technique, but you can also use it directly. And the idea is that you use your sword as a lever to pry open or pull the shield edge of the opponent, and then follow up with a shield bind to the lower part of the opponent's shield, the inside. And it starts off basically up here in this bind, and if you initiate it as a direct move and not a counter, you start by fishing kind of for the shield hand here, and then you use this prying motion and then follow up with the bind pushing here. And this means that if you film here, that ideally I get a bind against Alfred's blade and not his hand. So here, preferably. Well, this also kind of works, but he can escape better. So yeah, or simply just flick the wrist. So if I can push him here, and then I can thrust. So that's the direct action. And in more fluid motion, it looks like this. It might also contain a roll of the shield around the hand axis, this rotation axis, to gain more pushing force in the blade bind. So this means that if you are here, I go fishing, and then as I roll the shield, I then can apply more pushing with the shield, and then I can more easily get my shield on the inside of Alfred's shield and do the thrust. When we use it as a counter, it is mostly against shield arm cut. So if Alfred is trying to push my shield back to cut my hand, like so, then I can do the same. I can end up in the same structure, the same finish, simply by changing my sword and then my shield ending up in the same position. So as Alfred is pushing, I change my sword, change my shield, and then I thrust. Let's show it again from the other side, maybe. Here. So Alfred is slowly. So from here, Alfred is pushing to the side. I change, push. Okay. So it's basically the same thing. The difference is that the sideways motion is initiated either by me or by an attacker, in which case it's a counter. And if I initiate it, it's kind of a starting move. So you might do it as a starting move when you enter a fight, like so. You go here, boom. There is a counter that it could be countered if my force in the bind from my shield and my sword is not sufficient. Alfred can counter me by counter stepping and doing the same thrust against me. So if I try here, I push him aside, he then counter steps and thrusts. Boom, same move. So it's pretty cool.